Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Welcome back. I should be welcoming me back. Welcome me back. As you could tell, I took some time off, and much needed time off. Did a lot of soul work, which today is day 18 of body mindfulness, and believe it or not, it's soul work. So, yeah, I did a lot of that. Went really deep, and had therapy in the meantime, so that was already planned, but my spiral was not. But yeah, there was a lot of things that I hadn't dealt with, and I do try to be honest on here because, I really want people to learn how to be okay with their mental health, how to kind of just be able to sit with it. And good morning, Spencer. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back, and I'm telling you, sending you good vibes back as well. It is day 18 of body mindfulness, and before I get into that, I want to kind of just dive into where I was over the last week and a couple of days. My mind blew. And some people will think, oh, spirals are terrible, spirals are bad. For me, spirals kind of remind me of where I need to be. They're kind of my reminder that, oh, you're going in the wrong direction. So it's kind of like getting stuck in a roundabout. I don't know how many people have been through a roundabout, but the ones in England absolutely terrify me. But I feel like you need a special license just to drive through those. But I've been through a few here in the United States, and that's what it feels like. It feels like nobody's letting you over, and then all of a sudden you just have to take control and make your path. You have to decide to be off of that roundabout. And that's kind of what a spiral for me is like. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, that's how it is. And so, I knew I didn't want to take the time off, especially since we were literally on the second half of body mindfulness, but I knew I had to. Otherwise, it was not going to turn out well. It wasn't going to go. It was just not. So, I know that in previous perspectives, I've always tried to be very honest and very open about my mental health. And so this wasn't about me ignoring it. This was about me knowing that if I tried to do a show, all I would do was ramble. And if I want to put something good together, I can't just ramble and go over and over again about things, just the same thing over and over. It's kind of like, I talked about the week before I took my little mental vacation, and I talked about how I'm very good at unpacking things, healing it, then repacking it to heal it from a different direction. And that's not good either, because all you're doing is just you're a hamster on a wheel. And you can sit there and say, yeah, but I'm like an onion. Yeah, but sometimes you get to the end of the onion and then you're still going because you don't know how to be anything but the onion. You don't know how to be anything but layers. And that's kind of where a lot of this came together. There was a lot that's a lot of dates that are coming up that really kind of affected me over the last 9 years. The passing of my mom, the day she stopped her chemotherapy, the day I got laid off from my job after 15 years with some really lame excuses. And this all was stuff I thought I dealt with, and I had not. And so because of that, I spiraled, and I didn't realize why, because I didn't realize that these were things that, I was angry about it, and I was sad about it, but I don't think I ever let myself grieve over these 2 dates. Yeah, it's a couple weeks until my mom's anniversary of her passing, but I never grieved the day that she really kind of died to me the first time. The day I had to come to terms with the fact that even though I knew, because she had pancreatic cancer, that she was not going to last through the year, I really had to open my heart to the idea that she was going to be gone, and I never allowed that. And so for some people, it might be like, yeah, it's just a day. But for other people, don't let people minimize your grief. I have let people, with good intentions, minimize my grief. And your grief is your grief. There is no timeline for grief. There is a timeline for when you start repeating the process that you have to jump off that wheel. And that was the problem. I thought I was off of that wheel, and then I didn't want to go through it because my therapist had told me you need to stop going backwards and you need to start focusing on where you want to be. And so, but I was talking to her about this last week, and I realized that it was something I had never unpacked before. It was something I just kind of wrote a name on the box and stuck it in the corner and said, oh, I'll get to it someday. And I guess I finally did. I finally came to terms with it. That was kind of what I was doing all last week. And then Friday, well, you can tell it's been a while, right? Since I've been on air, because my voice is shaky and kind of nervous. But anyways, on Friday, my therapist finally pulled out of me that there was still a lot of pain attached to being let go. Because, as a lot of people know, that job was my everything, and yeah, I wanted something more, I wanted something bigger, but it's one of those things where, you want to make that choice when you move on, and you're not always given that choice. When I was sitting in my therapist's office, they like to put kids movies on in the waiting room. And I don't know what they were putting on, but I got the preview for Lego Batman, which of course I've already seen, but I know, because I'm a nerd, but, or a geek. I'm not that smart, so I'm a geek. But, but one thing I liked that Lego Batman said is the kids all, hey, Robin says, where's my seatbelt? He's all, life doesn't give you seatbelts. And it's the truth. Life doesn't give you seatbelts. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're crashing through that window. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're just sailing through life. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're that guy in the video game just weaving in and out of cars, or you have those idiots in front of you that weave in and out of cars and you're trying not to be hit. And that's what life feels like sometimes. But instead of speeding up and getting angry, sometimes we just have to go within, take a deep breath, and recenter. And that's what I had to do. And so, figuring out the triggers is still kind of a work in progress for me. And you would think that it would be, it wouldn't be. But again, we're like onions. And I realized that this was an onion I hadn't peeled all the way through. So there are two onions I hadn't peeled all the way through. So yeah, I went through that. So that's kind of where I've been over the last week. And like I said, I really want to be honest about that because I wasn't trying to hide it. Because like I said, I know in the past I've come on and just had tears and everything because I knew that kind of getting the understanding out there and showing that it's okay to have these mental issues sometimes. I have a dinged up mental health. I have a diagnosis. I have everything. But I've decided I can't let it run my life. I've decided that I can't let it rule me. And so I'm not going to. And so I have a book where I write these things down where I feel like I'm about to spiral. I need to be better at taking care of that and making more notations. So even if it's a book I have to carry with me for a while, I need to do it because it's important that we give ourselves that break. It's important that we give ourselves this space and this safe space because we are the ones who afford ourselves these safe spaces. And we can't ask for it from anybody else. We can ask for compassion and empathy and support. But ultimately, the work has to be done by you. And if you're not willing to do the work or you're unable to do the work, if you're unable to do the work, sometimes I get that. Because there are a lot of people who, like I said, they have they have multiple spokes in the mental health umbrella. And I know that sometimes that can be so debilitating and so hard. So if you find someone like that, and I know a few people like that, be compassionate, be empathetic, because these people are literally hanging on by a thread. Don't judge them. Just do your best to help them. And if you can, slowly plant the seeds. I had a wonderful, beautiful talk with one of my dearest friends over the weekend. And we always have epic talks. We don't talk that often on the phone, but we always have epic talks. And he was telling me that he was so intent on not calling me until he was happy because he wanted to show me that the little seeds I had planted through all our other conversations about him being worthy, about him deserving good things and all this and that, were starting to take root. And they were starting to come to fruition. And so now he has this little tree that's growing. And it's a beautiful tree. I mean, it was one of those cases where the teacher became the student. Because I needed to figure out where that spark is in me. I need to figure out where I'm at. A lot of times a lot of times in society we put so much on age. We put so much on age. And what is age? It's just, it's a marker of how many years we're here. I'm not ashamed of my age because I know at 3 years old, I had a 50-50 chance of dying. So every year to me is a bonus. It's a gift. And that's how we really need to look at it. Even if you're the most healthiest person in the world and you've never had a health scare or problem in your life, be grateful for every year. Don't be ashamed of the years you're piling on, because a lot of people don't pile on the years. I have two very close people. One of them was Sissy, who never made it to 50. And it's like, now my goal is to make it to 60. And then my goal is to, pass the age my mom was when she died. So, it's about moving forward and not worrying about, what we feel society needs to place on us. It's not about, it's about living your own life. Don't worry about what society says, okay? That's why we're doing body mindfulness, Yeah, see, Spencer says, age is silly. I feel very youthful at 52, and I know a lot of curmudgeons, curmudgeon 30-year-olds. Oh my God, right? Some people, it's like, older sibling and I have gone down the rabbit hole of YouTube and watching these videos on Karens, right? And Karens and Keiths, I think they call them. And some of them, it's just like, wow. I think we just go down there because we're like, wow, people really act this way. But then we notice some things is that some of these young kids that are doing these videos, they just keep it going. It's like, just walk away. Walk the heck away. They're going to be dumb. You got your video. Just, why are you keeping it going? Why are you keeping it going? Because all you're doing is pissing them off more. And I think that's sometimes what they want. So, I was talking about how social media and our personal electronics nowadays are both a godsend and terrible. Right? They're like these wonderful, magical, technological things that we have, like, putting literally a flat screen in your back pocket. But also, they're the worst things in the world because they make people dumb sometimes. It's like they just make people want to be angry, want to be pissed off about something. It's like, you know what? Find some freaking enlightenment, all right? Because awaken, period. Stop being so angry, or stop looking for things to be angry about. And I think that's part of where I'm struggling, is that I feel like I've really kind of I've gone through this ascension mode, right? And I feel like I'm kind of in this enlightened place, but there's so many things that just keep wanting to anchor me down like a big hot air balloon. It's like I'm trying to float away, but there's that one tether that just won't let go. And I feel like I have to keep going down the rope, trying to undo it, and then it just keeps reattaching. So we have to figure out how to cut that rope and just let ourselves be free. We're not going to not have days where we don't get mad. Sometimes it's just going to happen. We're humans, but the least amount of time that you can spend on wasting your energy on that crap, the better off you're going to be. So, and I'm slowly learning that. I'm not going to say that when I get out on the freeway that I don't lose my shit, because I do. But not like bad. I don't like how it used to be, where it's just like, oh my God, but because I get into panic mode, right? That's why I get all crazy when I'm on the road, and I start yelling at my windshield like someone's going to hear me, because my whole body is just kind of like, and it doesn't know what else to do but get all this stuff out. But I am getting better at that, and it's just kind of like I am becoming more, I'm definitely paying more attention and trying to be more aware so that I don't get into these situations. And when people do dumb things, it's kind of like, whatever, I'm getting better at just going, whatever. So that's my mental health state right now. I'm in a better place. I'm in a good place. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I have to tell you, if my hair were white, it would remind me of Dracula's hair from, what was it, Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola. It's got that thing going on there. But I absolutely love my hair today. So, and I know, I was watching this YouTube thing, and then I was reading an article, because, you watch one thing, and all of a sudden your entire feed is this thing, because of the lovely algorithms that they create. But, yeah, and it was talking about hairstyles you should not have over 50. I'm sorry, are you telling me how to wear my hair? Hell no. So, I will wear my hair any way I please. If it makes me happy and it brings me joy, that's all that matters. And if it makes you happy and it brings you joy, that's all that should matter. If you have gray hair and you want to dye it pink or purple or blue or whatever you want to do, I will say this, just be careful. Make sure it is temporary. Okay, make sure it is temporary. Don't do semi-permanent, don't do demi-permanent. I found this out from watching YouTube, that gray hair is so porous that it will hold the color. It will not wash out unless it's temporary. So just get those temporary dyes, like the unicorn hair or whatever, and just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. I admit I colored my grays because that is the one thing I'm vain about is my hair. And I'm not ready to go gray yet. I'm not ready to go gray yet. I love my dark hair. This is my natural hair color. It's been a while since I've been at my natural hair color. So what I was trying to do with the demi-permanent is I was trying to grow out my gray, and then I figured it would all just wash out. But at least if I do want to do something fun, it's only one layer of color that I have to bleach out. So that's not anything you needed to know, but you know now. So there you go. So let's get to body mindfulness. Day 18. Day 18, I know. Soul work. I thought this was pretty intriguing, since this is basically what I've been doing for the last week and a half, is soul work. So this comes from Threads of Fate. It's an oracle deck I have, but before I lose you on the oracle part, just know that it's the shadow edition. And the reason I'm using this deck is because, I've done this body positivity thing 2 times before. And it was always, pulling something off the internet, which I always give credit to people. I pulled it off the internet 30 days of, right? And then I would just kind of move it into like 30 days of self-love. Oh, let's make it into body positivity. But, body positivity can also become a very negative thing. It's like that toxic positivity, right? Where it's just like nothing bad ever happens and you're, and I get it. Some people are just like that, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But when people are faking it and not dealing with their problems, that's when it becomes a bit of a problem. Or when somebody's having a problem and you're trying to positive them out of it without letting them go through it, that can also be a problem. It's one thing to kind of share your experiences and tell people, hey, this, that, or the other. But it's another thing to just force somebody through something. That's why I love reading Spencer's posts, all right? If you are on Facebook, or I can't remember, I think he has a Patreon, whatever it's called, Spencer Hughes, all right? Because this dude, he just knows. He knows. I mean, I love reading his posts, and they always seem to come into my feed at the exact moment I need them. They really do. It's just kind of like, oh, mind blown. And it's funny because we all kind of did our flip around the same time. It's like one day I was reading the post and the next day it's like, whoa, wow. So, so yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. And he's got a lot of good stuff to say. So go follow on Facebook, or I don't know where else you are. If you want to put it in my comments, that's great. And then I'll put it on the YouTube. So anyways, soul work. So the Threads of Fate I really like because it's doing shadow work. And like I said, the reason I chose this is because I'm really trying to be mindful about what I'm putting down here and what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I'm going through this with you. I had a big breakthrough a couple weeks ago saying I will never hate my beautiful body again, no matter what size, no matter what shape, because I think that's very important for us to just love who we are in this moment. If you want to make changes, make changes. If you don't want to make changes, don't make changes. But it's about being comfortable and happy and content in the body that we're in now. Because if you're consistently hating your body, you're just going to keep repeating the bad habits. Okay? But if you want to eat healthier, eat healthier. I can't tell you what to do. But when it comes to loving your body, that's what I'm here for. To just tell you, hey, love yourself exactly as you are in this moment. Because that might help you along the way. And it has helped me. It has helped me kind of make better decisions now, because I'm not constantly looking in the mirror and going, oh, or thinking about 5,000 diets that I can do. Seriously. So, I'm sure there's some things that I got to deal with. I'll talk to my doctor, say, hey, you know what? I don't know. I'm still stuck. I don't know what's happening, no matter how well I eat. So there's things like that. Talk to your doctor. But in the meantime, learn how to be body mindful. Love who you are in this moment. Okay, thick or curvy, thick or thin. Because, I know thick people think thin people don't have body positivity issues, and I'm here to tell you they do, because I did. And I had them as a thicker plus size person. So I've been on both sides. And I've seen how people treat each other on both sides. Both sides. Nobody's innocent in this. People will pick, this side will pick on this side will pick on this side, and then nobody wins. And then you have other friends, then you see these other groups of people with all different sizes, and they're all just in love with each other. That's where we should be. Don't worry about what society says. Society is just, I don't know. Society always has an opinion, right? Society is that person in your family that always has to add their 2 cents to what you're talking about, who always has to add their advice. Come on. I grew up in a semi-Filipino Hawaiian cultured family, so there's 2 cents flying everywhere. But somebody always knows better, right, than you do. But only you know what's best for you. So, soul work. Sometimes, while we are navigating our day-to-day life, we can lose sight of our highest purpose in the earthly realm. This card asks you, once again, check in with your soul purpose. It is not possible to be derailed from your soul path, no matter where you are, but clarity does help us show up for it in a more intentional way. I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my reading today. So, sit with these questions. What are you here to teach? What are you here to learn? What stirs in your heart? Spend time reflecting upon your soul mission and how you can integrate it into your life. So I know sometimes we're not always sure what our soul purpose is, what our soul mission is. Maybe you're like, well, how, I work in an office. I love my office job. I work, maybe I'm a trash collector and I love this job because I'm out in the open and, I just get to wave at people all day long. Or maybe you're a delivery person or a mail person or whatever it is you do. You may absolutely love it and you may think, well, what's my soul purpose? Well, say you are that trash collector, right? And there's somebody that maybe you wave to every Tuesday or Wednesday whenever you pick up in their neighborhood. Or maybe in every neighborhood you have someone. You don't know how much that could be changing their day. I mean, if they're out there waving at you, that may be their communication. Maybe they're an introvert and you're the only one that they, keep contact with. Like, even if it's just waving out the window, like, hey, how's it going? And that's probably like a rare thing because I know not everybody has trash pickups at their home, or that you see your trash collector. But even the mailman, I try to wave at my mailman. He looks at me like I'm stupid. But I think it's because he's new and he doesn't know. And, sibling and I tend to be very friendly. I mean, sibling, I tell you, it's like she waves at everything. She's like at Disneyland every moment going, hi, or just smiling. And I love it. I love it. It has brought me out of my shell, ironically, because that's part of my name. But yeah, when it comes to this, navigating our day-to-day life, we can lose sight of our highest purpose in the earthly realm. Maybe you get so focused on whatever it is that you're doing that you don't even realize that, you're saying hi to someone. I am by trade, I used to be a pharmacy tech. First I started in retail, then I was a pharmacy technician. Then I became an office worker and an administrative assistant. But my job, for some reason, has always kept me at the front. So I don't like receptionist because I think receptionists deserve more title. They are literally admin assistants. And I don't mean to be all political about that. But the reason I'm saying that is people look at the word receptionist and think, ugh. But you know what? This is the first person you're running into, right? You walk into a doctor's office, good morning, how are you? Or you walk into a doctor's office like, can I help you? They're the first line of defense. They are. And you have to decide, whether you want to be that, hi, how can I help you? Or if you want to be, good morning, how are you? And it's funny because when I sat at the desk, everybody that walked through the front door, good morning, good morning, good morning, how are you? And, they wouldn't always say, they wouldn't always answer that, but I always get a good morning. One office I worked in, they all looked at me like I had 10 heads because the person before me didn't do that. They were just kind of like, okay. But after a while, during that temp job, eventually they started saying good morning. So, be more respectful of the people that sit at the front, okay? Because they got to deal, and especially if you're not feeling well or you're cranky, they got to deal with you. And it's just like, I have to tell you, sometimes you just want to bang your head against the wall with the way some people treat people. So, be kind. Now, going back to that soul purpose, saying hello to someone, being kind to someone. Sibling goes to a pain management doctor, and lately, they found that since COVID, they found that doing online, online appointments every couple of months or having them come in every couple of months instead of every month has been very beneficial for their patients because a lot of it's a pain management clinic, so they're not always easy. And Sibling has CRPS, which is chronic regional pain syndrome, or formerly known as RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy. So, the women that you go in there, always so nice. Always so nice. But there was one lady, right? One time we went in, I think she was just having a bad morning, or maybe someone pissed her off. I don't know. And you know what? Sometimes we're going to have bad days. All right. So be kind to the person behind the desk, even if they're having a bad day. I mean, if you know better and you know that that's not normally their thing, ask them, hey, how's it going? Because maybe that's what they want, is to be acknowledged and to be seen. And maybe that's your purpose for the day. Maybe we don't always have this sole purpose that is one thing. Maybe it's just going through life and being kind to people, doing what you love to do, but putting some purpose into it, adding a little more of a personality to it. Hey, how's it going? Or what can I do for you? Hey, do you need anything? I don't care if you're a CEO, if you're walking by someone, you see they're super, super busy, and you see them pick up their cup and go, oh, offer them some water. Say, hey, can I get you anything? Because I'll tell you, that's going to earn you a lot of respect, because they're going to feel seen. Before he retired, at my last job, I got to meet the CEO of our bank. And it was funny because I was so nervous. I was so scared. Everybody kind of worked me up like, oh my God, you got to dress this way. It's Friday. And it's like, we all dress a certain way on Friday because it's casual Friday. But no, we couldn't dress casual Friday that day. And I was so nervous. I was scared. I don't do well around, I know this is going to sound dumb, but I don't do well around high-ranking people. I don't. I freeze and I freak out. And then I can't talk. And they for some reason, I don't know why they intimidate me. But he walks up to me and he pretend whispers in my ear. He's all, we know who's really in charge here, don't we? And I just kind of laughed and I giggled and I felt so much more at ease. Now, I've worked and been in touch with other CEOs who just made me feel so intimidated. But this guy, he was like, it's like you feel seen. So don't resist letting your people feel seen. That can be your soul work. That could be your purpose. What are you here to teach? What are you here to teach? I feel like I'm here to use my gift of gab to help people through things, to help people navigate through things. To maybe help people who are afraid to get some help for their mental health, to, not be so shy and or not be so embarrassed, to end that stigma. I don't know if anybody has seen this commercial. And I don't know if anyone's seen it overseas, or I'm not even sure if they have it overseas, but it's an American commercial, and I can't remember what company it's for, but these two guys are working out, right? And this guy is laying on this bench and the barbell, he's lifting weights, and all of a sudden it's just laying on him, like right next to his throat. And his friend sees this because he hears this, oh. So his friend runs over and says, hey, can I help you? He's all, you don't understand. And he's all, no. He's all, I can do this. And then he's all, why don't you let me help you? He's all, you don't understand my family. And it's a whole metaphor for how some people are so afraid to get help, because in some cultures it is very stigmatized. In the Asian culture, it's still very stigmatized. There's a mom my friend was telling about this. My friend is a big K-pop fan. And they've had a lot of losses from mental health in that community. And one of the first ones that really kind of came to light, his mother started a whole mental health thing. And she's helping break the stigma of this. And this is what we need to do. And I feel like maybe that's my purpose. That's one, I don't know if I have more than that purpose, but one of the things that is my purpose right now in this moment is to help break that stigma, help end that stigma, and get people to feeling enlightened, getting people to wake up, getting people to feel awakened and not so stuck in their pain. I've been stuck in my pain. I have a client for my Ho'oponopono stuff, and she opened up something big to me this weekend, and I was just like, wow. And I thought, well, maybe I'll share my experience, but I thought, no, this is her space, this is her time. She's being brave and, talking to me about something. And I thought, this is good news. This is good to have, because I can help when I'm working on her. I can use this because now I know where the root is of one of her issues. And so, I thought, wow, I felt really good, because, you feel like, even though you haven't met somebody in person, because this is a repeat customer that I have, that, a repeat client, and you realize, wow, you know what, you are doing something, you are helping people. And I know my therapist doesn't really think that my spiritual work is really work. So, she tries, but she's a therapist, right? So a lot of it is all about science and how it works. And that's okay, because I'm not here for her to I'm not here to ask her to approve of my, my career choices and my lifestyle choices, but I am there with her to help me navigate my personal life, to navigate my professional life. And sometimes that's what I need to do. But, I can do this from anywhere. I can do it in an office. I can do it in a retail store. I can do it in a pharmacy. I can do it anywhere. Because it all happens in the back of my head. I start it and then it just keeps going like a cycle in the back till it's done. So it's like putting in a load of laundry and just letting it go, right? You're doing something, and you're going to have to take it out and dry it and fold it. But in the meantime, it's just running in the cycle in the back. So that's kind of what life is like. That's what our purposes are like. Everybody's purpose is different. But, I think what I really want to share with people is don't try so hard to figure out what your purpose is that you miss it. I have been sitting here racking my brains trying to figure out, God, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? What am I here to teach? What am I here to learn? I think I'm already learning what I'm here to learn. What stirs in your heart? What does stir in your heart? I missed this show when I wasn't doing it. And I love it. And I know this morning I woke up and I thought, gosh, I'm not sure I can do this morning. Well, no, you're fine. You're going to do it. You spent a week and a half getting your head into gear to just get to this place. And that's what's important, that I'm in this moment right now, feeling what I got to feel, doing what I got to do. And I'm finally learning how to do one thing. Do that first thing. And then if you can, do the next thing. And then just keep building those things and building and building and building until, you've stacked a bunch of stuff. I built a lamp this morning, a lamp that's been sitting in a box for 2 years. I got tired of looking at it and saying, you know what? I'm tired of this light behind my TV shining in my damn eyes, because it reflects off my glasses. I didn't notice it until COVID, and I started, wearing my glasses again because I didn't want to wear my contacts. I had nowhere to go. I didn't see the point. And I just kind of got reattached to my glasses, but they reflect off my glasses, and it's like, so if I do this, the TV looks great. But if I just do this, it's kind of like, oh, there's always that reflection. And it's annoying AF. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put this lamp together. Then I put it together and I realized, what took me so long? It took me 10 minutes to put, it took me longer to get it out of the packaging than it did to put the damn lamp together. But I'm just sitting there going, duh. Just big duh. So, just do one thing and then the next. And I felt pretty accomplished because I did all that before I started my show. I made myself coffee, had a protein shake, built a lamp, got dressed, put on makeup. It's just the little things, guys. I love the little things because the little things are really big things. So I'm going to read this one last time and leave you with it, okay? Sometimes while we're navigating our day-to-day life, we can lose sight of our highest purpose in the earthly realm. This card asks you once again, check in with your soul purpose. It is not possible to be derailed from your soul path, no matter where you are, but clarity does help us show up for it in a more intentional way. Now, again, sit with these 3 questions. I'll put them in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube, all right? What are you here to teach? What are you here to learn? What stirs in your heart? And then again, spend time reflecting upon your soul mission and how you can integrate it into your life. Now, since I missed the show a week and a half ago on Thursday, all 4 days are going to be body mindfulness this week. I will do a little bit of self-care on Wednesday, but Wednesday is compassion, and it's the full moon in Pisces. So, I think tomorrow I'll read you the card for the full moon in Pisces, because full moons are a 3-day cycle. All right. They're like, so Wednesday is obviously the full moon, and it's a super moon, and it's a blue moon. Now, fun fact, a lot of people are going to be like, but the moon doesn't look blue. Now, I know most of us by now probably know what a blue moon is, but I really didn't know until adulthood what a blue moon is. A blue moon, I believe the term came from Native American culture, and it's 2 full moons in one monthly cycle. So not like, oh, 30 days, because then you're like, oh, well, we have a blue moon all the time. No. So like August, at the beginning of August, we had a full moon. At the very end of August, we're having a full moon. Or yeah, so that's a blue moon in a 1 month cycle, in a one calendar month. That's what I should say. In a calendar month cycle. All right. So I know I was a bit all over the place a little bit this morning, but I'm a little nervous. This is what happens, by tomorrow I'll probably be like, yeah, I'm back on, get a who. But but yeah, no excuses, no excuses. I am who I am. You get what you get. Like I said, it's Aloha Perspective. You get a little bit of something, a whole lot of everything. And my aloha, my spreading my aloha is about spreading how to feel good about yourself, how to just find the aloha really in everything. Because aloha, it may mean a lot of different things in a language, but really aloha is a feeling. It's a feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a feeling of love and joy and happiness, enlightenment, awakening, whatever positive word you want to put on that. That's what it is. And so that's what I'm trying to share and spread with this perspective. All right. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Get ready, because tomorrow we have an exercise with it. Tomorrow is about power. Power. So anyways, again, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. Or you can catch the replay on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective, and my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective. Have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, and if you like the shorter version of these, if you need Shelly on the go, right, the Aloha Perspective on the go, I do a very short TikTok version of this. So basically, I just read it, give some thoughts. Sometimes I would say, go watch that one too, because sometimes I come up with new gems when I'm doing the short version. All right, just saying. So anyways, have a great, great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging in there with me, kind of speed talking, because I'm so nervous right now. But anyways, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I don't know. I have to find out if my coffee is caffeine or not, because I know most of them are decaf, but I'm feeling a little jolty right now, so I'm not supposed to have caffeine that often. So anyways, I'm rambling. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for hanging in there. I'll see you tomorrow.